Alright, in the first round here, interesting decision on this mulligan. Our opponent is playing last and wants to be on the draw. We do have a 3-drop. One forest in our deck of 10 gets us a pretty nice hand. I'm going to keep it. It's a little bit risky, but we should be drawing a 4 soon, and I do have some action, so I'll keep. Also, those fans of the recordings will notice, thanks to some help from some sweet, loving people on YouTube, I learned how to put the chat where I want it for now. So I'm trying this way right now so I can still see the chat for things like Scry. I'm not too sure if all this is going to maintain, but for now I'm very okay with it. For this first recording with an actual chat. Alright. So we got super lucky and got there, although our deck kind of is designed to do that. And we can start bidding down. Probably just go ahead and get the bow out next turn for the beats. Nyxborn Eidolon. Okay, we'll see if my opponent wants to trade here. Because I'm happy to do that. A little bit of an attrition game, I think. Especially with Emissary online. Yeah. I just don't think my opponent's going to do the trade. We'll see how really late my opponent wants to go. No, my opponent's going for it. That's cool. We'll pretend to think about it, then we'll let it go. And then I am okay busting a move with this bow here, just to start it going. Keep it right just to play the wolf, develop the board while my opponent's slowing down, but we're both kind of looking to go a little bit later. I'm looking to win on my flyers more than anything else. Skull of Athreos. Go for it, friendo. And then I'll go ahead and play my Emissary while my opponent's tapped out. One nice thing. Oh, Asphyxiate, I was thinking. I think Asphyxiate's the only thing that can get the Emissary out, but hopefully my opponent doesn't have that. If not, we're still in okay shape. But being able to put the wolf onto Thassa's Emissary is going to be pretty nice. Ooh, maybe I wait a turn. Because what I can do now, I still kind of want to bestow. I don't remember what this thing does. So I think what we do is attack in with the Emissary. There could just be a block here. We'll go ahead and use a +1/+1 counter on the Emissary and use Aspect. How much is that? So that's 3... we can't also play the Nyxborn Wolf. I was thinking about just playing it out regularly. But yeah, I want to do that. I want to start clearing the board. Otherwise, I mean, I could put the wolf on Emissary and not attack, but I definitely want to be the aggressor here. And Death Touch means no matter what, like, this is going to look like, you know, kind of a 2-for-1 action. So we'll see if my opponent wants to do that. Oh, no blocks. That's great. In that case, do I care about this bow right now? I think we just bestow the wolf on the Emissary. Yeah. We're a really big dude, and with Death Touching, it's just so hard to block. And then if we draw a land next turn, we get the Archetype out. Ooh, that's 6 in the air. Ouch. But now my opponent's getting up to mana that matters. With 4 cards in hand. Excoriate, okay. That was about to happen, and it just did. I can attack in with the wolf. My opponent can block 1, 2, 3, but I get to use one of my aspects. So I'm cool with that. We need to just start getting some pressure through. Could have played Sedge Scorpion before combat, but there's no trample, and I think it would just kind of signal what I'm up to, so I'm cool with not doing that. Then I will play my other Sedge, and then we'll start using Bow of Nylea and whatnot. This holds back the Scholar. It's nice to have the aspect of Hydra available. Opponent has Nyx Infusion on the Sedge Scorpion, which makes sense as I realize. I was like, can't do it on the Wolf. Now can ya? Alright, can't do anything about the Scholar. It's really just 1 point. It's not a big deal. We don't care about the life. We'll just go ahead, put a +1/+1 counter on this duder. Make him a little more frightening. Anything that can happen at 3 here to where I'd want to play the Archetype before combat? Don't think so. Now we could get a removal spell like a Sip or something, start taking out one of the guys. What's this? Oh, just doing that, that's fine. But we still have some pretty good pressure here. We'd like to draw into some more action, but as long as at least one of these guys sticks around, I'm in good shape. Sir Tiamat's not going to do it. Plus being able to gain 2 life a turn is pretty nice. Cloak Siren is insane. I'm not going to put a +1/+1 counter, even though it does kind of change the clock. I want to keep this a little more versatile at the moment. I changed the clock because Scholar will get at least 1, but I'd rather just keep the Bow of Nylea around for in case I want to gain life, or decide who I want to put on like response to like a combat trick or something. Feeling pretty confident right now. Because of Cloak Siren, since we did draw one of our nice flash dudes, we'll be able to end of turn do that and activate Bow of Nylea. Plus we have our aspect in case anything really negative happens. I'm trying to rack. I mean, I guess an Abhorrent Overlord would be really bad. This is not that. Opponent's going to bash in, it looks like. I think we just go ahead and kill it right now. We can flash in our Cloak Siren. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong. Considering we have 1, 2, 3, it's going to be a 5. So there's nothing big enough that would really kill this guy. There we go. Opponent kind of solid right on the roll there. So we'll go to sideboard, and let me look at what we saw here. Okay, I don't think I have anything amazing in the sideboard. My opponent's definitely not going aggressive. Wanted to play last after winning the die roll. So I don't need my little dorky Bronze Sable. We got the air pretty well locked in. We don't need Sky Reaping, plus it's not really good in our deck. We're not that heavy green. There are some enchantments to get rid of, like that Eidolon and the Nyx Infusion, but it's probably going to be in the graveyard anyway. There's also the Nyxborn Eidolon, right? The black one. But already having one main deck Artisan Sorrow, I'm pretty okay with until I see something way more powerful. But it's an option if I feel like something in the deck doesn't work. And none of the blue cards I care about. What don't I like in this deck? Sedge Scorpions are going to be great. My opponent's not being aggressive, but it still helps me stay alive against some of the other dorks. Could be right to bring the font in, since we're both kind of looking to grind out a little bit. But it's kind of the same thing. Is there something I really want to pull out? Maybe the Sedge Scorpions aren't that great. All of our flyers are grand. No, I want to keep it the way it is. Okay, and we've got another kind of lame keep. This one might be a little bit better. At least we have a removal spell on a Sedge Scorpion, but we need to draw into some more action. Opponent is playing last again, as predicted. The Archetype will go really well against my opponent, assuming more creatures. I draw more creatures along the lines. Get in for my 1 damage. My opponent doesn't have a 2-drop. Ooh, that's nice. My opponent's got to be happy I'm not playing a 3. I'd give my opponent to play a 3, but 2 couldn't make that happen. Alright, Nature's Panoply is okay. Is my opponent even going to bother attacking? Yeah, but with mana up, so I'm just going to go ahead and attack with my little Seiji here. Question is, do I want to put my Cloaked Siren in the way of the Servant of Temerit? And risk, like, it getting killed with some combat trick. I'm certainly interested. Scholar of Athreos first? Okay. So that means only God's Willing or the Indestructible thing can... Oh, my opponent doesn't even want to attack. Oh, that's fine. We'll just rock out our flyer action here. I'm actually fine with Sedge Scorpion taking out either one of these, and we're kind of more in a race situation. I guess the Scholar could... the Sedge Scorpion prevents the Scholar from attacking in, but if I'm doing damage, that's better than my opponent doing damage because of the race. So we'll just happily attack with both. Keeping up our combat tricks, waiting for our next land to get our archetype online. Exile target tapped creature. I don't have any hexproof, do I? Alright, so there goes that. We knew Excoriate existed, but definitely wasn't worth playing around. Does mean we need to start drawing some more fuel for our guys. Opponent's doing 2 to us. That's okay. Don't have the Savage Surge to really take that beating. Alright, we have our combat tricks. A little bit worried now. Do I continue my process of attacking now that I'm no longer the aggressor? That's interesting. Could do a Panoply. I think we'll just keep Sedge Scorpion back for D. Now that I have to play the waiting game. I don't want to play the waiting game against my opponent with 5 cards in hand, but as soon as I get some creatures out with our tricks, we should be somewhat okay. Ooh, hello Athreos. Too bad you're indestructible. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3. 3 more things for devotion. I mean, I'll take the 1. Whenever another creature you own, so it's his creatures, not my creatures. Got it. If I was lower in life, I could, you know, play my Panoply. But trading a card for my opponent's regeneration is not what I want to be doing. I still don't want to attack with the Sedge Scorpion. I wanted to still be holding things back. Ooh, what does my opponent have? Oh, the Scholar, of course. Alright. 1, 2, 3. We're at 5 right now. 2 more. Still not worried. If my opponent starts kind of running out of fuel and we start grabbing some of our action, we'll be okay. I did not, unfortunately. Still gonna play this out because Panoply will start making it good. This might be the case where I do just want to start putting pressure on my opponent. Do Panoply to make the +1/+1 counters relevant. Because then I'm doing 6 in the air a turn. But I, for some reason, don't like that idea. But then I feel like if my opponent had... Well, let's do this first attack. This is the first time the archetype will be tapped. Let's see if there's another Excoriate. I just don't want to waste the Panoply if the archetype is going to be gone anyway. I can't get too low in life because if anything ends up dying, like, I'm going to take 3. Like as it goes... I could choose to let it go to hand, I guess. I have to remember how all this works. All these mythics I forget about. What's this? Ooh, an Eidolon. That's cool. Especially because that means it's not going to die, so I'm not going to lose life. Is there any way for this guy to die? Not really. I mean, I'm definitely killing the Eidolon right now. And scrying, because that's going to be key. I could do the Panoply, but not with both. Because I would need 8 land to do that. And if I block, he just regenerates. Yeah. Ooh, Wolf is nice. You are not nice. I do not like you. And yeah, so we'll just take the 1. And then I will go ahead and bestow on the Sedge Scorpion and start trying to beat down and try to win the race. Ooh. I want to leave my greens up. Alright, so we should be able to, assuming we just stay completely non-interactive in this game, as is kind of happening, we have the win next turn, because all my opponent has is a couple of activations, gains some life, puts me down a little bit, but with the aspect of Hydras in hand and that Panoply, we should be able to get lethal down. The question is, will I feel comfortable doing that based on what my opponent has? Just realized if 1, 2, 3, 4, if my opponent has, well, I guess I wouldn't have died. I was going to say, I got really scared, because if my opponent could have activated Athreos and gotten me really low in life, I would have been down to, like, what, 3? If there was been, like, a 2-something whatever. Ooh, that's a nice backup for defense to make me feel comfortable trying to go in for this win here. I'm going to go with... So how many activations are there? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2... So there's 3 at 9, 10, 11, 12 life. Alright, we're going to go for it. But I need to plan this out correctly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's not going to do it. 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, because my opponent can go up to 12 right now, put me down to 5. So we don't have the win quite yet. So maybe just do the Panoply and the Starfish to set ourselves up. I think that's correct. This does force the activation for my opponent. But my opponent can do that. Is going to do that pretty easily anyway. Wait a second. Is that the win? Hold on. That's 9, right? My opponent goes down to 1, activates twice, goes up to 3. I only have 2 on that. Yeah, so no, I don't have the win. I could have had the win. Because if I had tapped correctly and thought it through. For some reason I thought I didn't have it with all of those pieces there. Whatever. In that case, I still think we're okay. I just have to be very careful. But yeah, my opponent could totally, like, get me here. Why didn't I count that crap? Whatever. Totally miscounted. So I think it's unlikely that there's a removal spell. But wait, I am dead, right? If my opponent attacks with both of these guys and activates 3 times, that's my only opponent. Yeah, I think I threw this game away. Ah, that's so frustrating. I was even counting, and I counted incorrectly with my panoplies, or my panoply and my aspects. For some reason, I thought I was 1 off. Alright, let's see if my opponent sees it. My opponent does see it. Okay. We're going to go to blocks here. Will my opponent let me get away with a win? No, my opponent's better than I am at Magic and can pay attention to the cards on the table. Boink! Okay, so I deserve to lose that game. Destroy also, so that's not going to help against Kruphix. And I still like everything I have going on. Yeah, we're going to keep it the same. Kruphix didn't do a whole lot that game. Would you like to play first? Yes. I'm definitely going to keep. My opponent's not going fast, and we have 2 of our most powerful spells in hand, so I'm stoked on that. Alright, my goal on this game is to count correctly. That's the big deal right now. No 2-drops for my opponent. Any of these games. Would like to start getting some more action. Because I anticipate this emissary taking a removal spell. And if all I have is 1 creature to put Raised by Wolves on, I'm not going to be happy about that. Oh, now I get a creature. I mean, I'm still going to run Shelly out there. Still think that's right. We'll probably get at least 1 card if it's Excoriate out of my opponent, so that's nice. I'm not going to put Raised by Wolves on Shelly. Yep. Thought that was going to happen. Something like that. Didn't see it before, but very easy that there would be a removal spell for Shelly. Ooh, Chimera's nice. We get to go ahead and play our Sedge Scorpion. And then flash in the Chimera. And then we'll see what we want to do about that Raised by Wolves. Nyx Infusion. Okay. Opponent's doing the removal thing. As long as we keep drawing creatures, we're okay. Opponent does have 5 cards in hand still. Eidolon, don't care about, especially played by itself. That's interesting. I'm trying to decide if I want to play Raised by Wolves on the Chimera right now. Excoriate gets it, but I still get some 2/2s. It's like, otherwise I just waste my turn. It's kind of nice putting a lot of pressure, and I feel like my opponent did already use 2 removal spells, so there's less likelihood that there's more. But then don't I just lose this game if I play the Raised by Wolves and then the Horizon Chimera just goes away? Alternatively, some kind of discard spell I haven't seen yet could get really nasty. I'm going to go for it. I do get the 2/2s after the fact, so for, if the Excoriate does take out the Chimera, I've done 5 damage, I've gotten, 2/2s on the board. My aspects mean nothing, but whatever. I could do 8 damage to my opponent right now with the aspect of Hydra. Alright, so here's the risk. And then if my opponent does play Excoriate, I still get to bash in with these wolves, because my opponent will be kind of stuck on the board. Excoriate, yep, alright. So I set myself up for that. My deal. Can't blame anybody but myself. Still going to keep the pressure on. I think the only card I don't want to draw here is my Sedge Scorpion. even though it's fine. I'm trying to think in the deck what would be really bad besides land, so I really just want any kind of land. Would love to get one of my flyers online. Oh! So Nyx Infusion's gonna eat me up. Didn't see Science Sentinel before, but yeah, bomb. Wavecrash Triton. Thank goodness. I needed that. This guy might just save me the game here. And then we're definitely gonna target it with an Aspect of Hydra. Was that a good top deck? I think that was a good top deck. I don't know if it's going to get me completely out of this little rut we got going, but definitely buys me a lot of needed time. Athreos does not matter. That's all you got? I'm very happy. Ooh, would have liked more action there, but oh well. I think I'm still happy just to attack. The Eidolon is gonna gain life, but I don't have a kill yet, and I'm happy to take 3 life, so we'll just clear the way for ourselves here. Gonna continue. I am gonna use the Aspect on the Wavecrash Triton to get the Sentinel out of the way. Pay life to prevent this? Okay. Don't want my opponent to get that trigger. So we have one more. It sucks that, I mean, it still takes 2 turns to kill my opponent. We should be in a decent spot to do that. But my opponent has a lot of outs and a lot of mana to have outs, yeah. We're just drawing lands. Still gonna attack in. Still need to, like, be the aggressor here. Opponent will trade for a wolf, take 3, go down to 3. I will pay 3 life. I don't want my opponent to have that card. And we just barely got there. Just barely. But I'll take it and go on to round 2.